Hi, welcome to this channel. My name is Cheese. This is my first time ever posting a Minecraft Reddit story video. In the future, I will be posting more of this content because I just genuinely enjoy reading. Today, I will be reading Am I the A-hole Reddit stories and starting this Minecraft world with my lovely boyfriend. If you see the purple jester guy in the video, that's him. He also has his own YouTube channel and will be doing what I'm doing soon. Anyways, it's time to get started reading. I hope you guys have your popcorn or have whatever you're doing or going to sleep. Have a good time. First story is called Am I the A-hole for breaking up with my boyfriend after what his mother told me? By Season Hot 3608. Hi Reddit, I am new to this and just needed advice outside my family and friends. So I, F23, have been with my boyfriend M24 for 3 years. I love him. We had an amazing relationship where we both supported each other in everything we did. At least, I thought we did until I met his mother. The reason I haven't met his mother until recently was because she lives out of state and we didn't have time to. Anyways, the first time I met his mother, she asked me if I was taking care of her boy. Like, feeding him, doing his laundry, cleaning our house, and I said yes I am. Mind you, I'm working one job while going to college and I come home and start cleaning, while he is just playing video games or taking a nap. She asked me if I was a stay-at-home girlfriend. I said no, I'm not. That I have a good paying job and I'm going to college. She told me I should drop out and quit my job to be a stay-at-home girlfriend. I said no. I really want to become a lawyer and I need college to do so. She looked shocked and told my boyfriend he deserves better than me. He didn't argue with her and agreed that he deserves a girlfriend who is a stay-at-home girlfriend. Later that night, I broke up with him and moved out the next day. He asked me why I broke up with him, and I told him he deserves better than me apparently. He told me I was making a big deal out of nothing. And I said, okay, whatever. I cried that night to my sister and got drunk. His family is thinking I overreacted and broke up with him for no reason. My family is, of course, on my side. I didn't make a big deal out of it, just said we are over, packed my stuff, and moved out. But now, I need to know, am I the a-hole? Honestly, OP, you did the right thing. You're the only person in your relationship actually putting work into the lives you guys are having. He's just gaming all day and he's not defending you. That's the least he could do. Least he could do, the bare minimum, is defending you in front of people. He wasn't even doing that, let alone getting a job or studying with you. Yeah, apparently you said he was supportive. I believe you, but only because he's not doing anything with his life. You deserve way better than that. And I hope you do find someone who truly matches you on that level and puts actual work into your relationship. Am I the a-hole for not wanting to babysit during Mother's Day weekend? Story by Panda Gordon 1160. My husband, 33M, and I, 28F, have an 8-year-old son together. Through him, we became friends with another family who has 2 daughters, ages 8 and 5. We've all been friends for about 3 years now, and during that time we've been regularly babysitting each other's kids whenever someone wanted a date night or just needed a break. It's been a normal thing for all of us. A few days ago, the husband texted my husband asking if we could watch their girls Saturday evening because he wanted to surprise his wife with concert tickets for Mother's Day weekend. He said the concert would run late and they might not get back until around 2 to 3 a.m. My husband initially told him probably and said he'd check with me first. He then called me and casually asked what we were doing Saturday. I said nothing, and apparently he took that as a green light to immediately tell our friend yes. Then he called me back and explained the full situation. After hearing everything, I said, watching additional children during Mother's Day weekend is not exactly how I pictured spending my time. My husband immediately got annoyed and said it's not like you had anything planned. Besides, you were going to be around kids anyways. He said this because we were already taking our son to a birthday party earlier that day. He then doubled down and said Mother's Day is technically Sunday anyways, so it shouldn't matter that much. And it's just a day. That really hurt me because I basically do everything in our house. Cooking, cleaning, most of the parenting for our son and our dog while also working full time. Mother's Day is literally the one day where I hope for even a little appreciation. I don't usually get anything for Christmas or my birthday, and I've never made a huge deal about that, but this really pushed me over the edge. What makes it even worse is that whenever we babysit, it mostly falls on me. I'm the one entertaining the kids, making food, solving arguments, organizing games, etc. Meanwhile, my husband usually disappears into the media room, shuts the door, plays video games because he doesn't know how to help. Also, my son has ADHD, and their older daughter also has ADHD. And the last time we watched them, they were bouncing off the walls until after 1 a.m. I had a headache the entire next day. My son finally went to bed around 1, while their daughter was literally doing somersaults on our couch. So I told my husband I didn't want to babysit, especially not that late into the night. He responded by saying he'd already told our friend yes, and that the concert tickets had already been purchased. At that point, I told him fine, but when the girls get dropped off, I'll be leaving. I said I'd go see a movie and find other things to do, because if he agreed to babysit without actually discussing it with me first, then he could handle the kids all by himself. He called me childish, unreasonable, instead of throwing a tantrum, and told me I need to help him watch the kids. I stood my ground, brought myself a ticket to the new Mortal Kombat movie, and now we're barely speaking, primarily on his part. So, am I the a-hole for not wanting to babysit kids the night before Mother's Day? OP is not the a-hole here. The husband definitely just didn't communicate properly, and since he didn't communicate it properly, he needs to take care of it. Especially because he doesn't do work, usually, and that sounds like a problem that you should actually talk to him about him just going away when you watch the kids. Like, he's just putting it onto you. He needs to actually talk to you and help you watch the kids if he's going to offer for you or be the communicator of it. But OP, not the a-hole. You guys need to communicate about this. Am I the a-hole for having my ex arrested at my wedding by stunning_way 9393? This happened 2 days ago at mine, 28, my wife's 39 wedding. And a lot of people were telling me I'm in the wrong for having my ex, 27, arrested, and my wife is saying I ruined the wedding and caused a scene. First, a little backstory on my ex. We were together over 5 years ago for a matter of weeks. I broke things off because I just wasn't into her that much, and she began to pester me over text and social media all the time to get back together or just to hook up. This went on for months, and in a particularly weak moment, I gave in and slept with her again. At this point, things got a lot worse. I tried to explain that it was a mistake, and I still didn't want anything with her. From then, the messages ranged from abusive to begging me for blank. Eventually, I just blocked her. From then, she started turning up at my house, work, social spaces I went to often. She attempted to force herself on me and threatened violence, and at that point, I got a restraining order. Since then, I haven't heard from her in years. I met my wife 3 years ago, and she is honestly the best thing in my life. We fell in love hard, and honestly have a great relationship. We got engaged after 2 years, and 2 days ago, finally had our wedding. The day was going amazingly until a friend of mine, who I'll call Chris, turned up with his +1, my ex. I spoke to him, and he had absolutely no idea about my history with her, and we tried to get her to leave. After she refused, I decided to just ring the police. 2 officers showed up to arrest her for breaking her restraining order, and she flipped out. She was shouting and screaming. She hurled abuse at my wife and claiming we were meant to be together, which obviously distracted from our wedding. Now my wife is upset with me for causing a scene, and a lot of her friends are just saying that I should have just ignored it and focused on the day because she wasn't causing any problems up until the police showed up. So, am I the a-hole? Edit to answer some questions I've had. Yes, my wife knew I had a restraining order against a stalker. We spoke about it when we started to become serious. A few family members also knew, but my friends didn't, as I never spoke to them about it. OP, it is not your fault your ex was there. She's a weird person, and I'm glad she got arrested. She was violating her restraining order. And actually, turns out there's an update to the story, so I'll be reading that to you guys right now. I got a lot of requests for an update on my original post, so here it is. It's been a very long day since I first posted. I have spoken to both my wife and Chris. Starting with my wife, we had a very long, tearful conversation about everything from my ex to our wedding. I apologized for the fact I didn't consider involving her before calling the police, which meant that the ex's outburst when being escorted out came as a complete surprise to her. She apologized for the way she reacted and explained that she wasn't angry at me, but is angry at the ex. The fact the wedding was ruined and that the focus was shifted away from us to the ex, her anger was misdirected. Another reason for the anger is that a lot of guests had no idea who X was, so X's comment of "we were meant to be together" has apparently led people to theorize that I've been cheating on my wife with X, so we are now having to put out fires before rumors begin to spread. My wife is now very much focused on making sure I'm okay after all of this though. She's still distraught about our special day being ruined, but we will work through that together. On to Chris. This is where things get a little scary. Me and wife called him together firstly to check that he is okay. He is. And secondly, how she managed to worm her way into his life in order to get to my wedding. According to Chris, they connected over social media. She started liking his posts over the course of about a month and then DM'd him and they started chatting from there. The crazy part is that to Chris, X has a completely different name, but the post on her profile dated back 3 years, meaning she has had this profile with a fake name for at least 3 years. And it's not the only one! Chris told us that a few other guys contacted him after the wedding saying that they recognized her. They had all also got DMs from her on different accounts, all with a different name. There are at least 3 other accounts that we are currently aware of. Apparently, X showed no signs of being obsessed with me or that she even knew who I was. He invited her as a +1, thinking that they might eventually get serious as they were having a really good time together. He has apologized profusely, but we have made it very clear that we do not blame him for this. There's been no word currently on what's going on with the ex, but considering her breaching the restraining order and resisting arrest, we assume she will probably end up in prison. Me and wife have spoken about it. And if we are contacted by the police, we will absolutely press charges, and wife will also be getting a restraining order. For now, we are going to try and enjoy our honeymoon and deal with the rest of this mess when we get back. Thank you, Reddit, for all the advice and opinions you gave. A lot of perspectives on the situations that I had not considered. I don't even get to share my opinion on this. They worked through it so well. They did it so good, and they're willing to sue. That is perfect. Cherry on top, just in case the police come. That's so perfect. I'm so dissatisfied with the story. I don't know about you guys. That's it for Reddit stories today. I'm probably going to try to post at least twice a week. We'll see how my schedule is because I'm trying to get a job as well. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you next time. Have a good night.